Today, we're going to talk about evaluating your current systems and infrastructure. When you start a project, you want to put together that system architecture map, or, a lot of times with organizations have outdated ones, it's really about updating the existing one. And this will get a good view of the landscape and the purpose of each different system. We've seen oftentimes in bigger organizations, someone is supporting a system that no one really knows about until it pops up in the implementation. And then it's kind of a big ordeal to figure out, what do we do now? And you really need to have that in the picture at the beginning and uncover everything. And then you can decide, okay, which of these can be replaced by Oracle Cloud? And more strategically, let's replace these for phase one, these in phase two, etc. So I'm going to pass it over to Chloe, and she's going to talk a little bit more about evaluating current systems and infrastructure.
Thank you, Zubin. I want to dive a little bit deeper into the real value that your organization is going to be able to uncover by leveraging and building out a current state infrastructure framework. Essentially, what is important that we see most often is that one of the most essential keys to embarking and completing a successful journey is a map. And Zubin, you brought up a great point earlier. Oftentimes, organizations can have a real varying degree of experience with their systems. There can be teammates that were there that implemented EBS 25 years ago that have been running it since then, while you can also have teammates who may have just been onboarded a few months ago. So this is an opportunity for you guys to take a step back and really have an understanding of what are the purposes of the different applications that you guys are currently leveraging. Who's using it? What's the volume of usage outside of just that typical user count for these different applications? What are the integration capabilities? Are you working with systems that had been implemented just last year? Or do you have systems that were implemented at the end of the 90s with green screens? What are you going to be able to actually take out of those systems and push into the new architecture once you guys implement Oracle Fusion? Along with that, you want to understand what's the level of existing customizations that you guys have been working with, and what are the different dependencies from a network security and a transactional data processing perspective that the systems currently rely on each other with. To take a step back and for you guys to have a good visualization of what we're talking about, when you look at this current state architecture, you can see the layers of complexity even from a high-level view. You can see that there are inbound and outbound integrations. You can begin to conceptualize where your data currently lives. And even this can be a place for you to start to form a plan around where will this data that's currently sitting in EBS or in Blackline, what needs to be converted into this new system. Along with that, you can see components of HR, ERP, supply chain, projects, EPM, and you can see how tightly integrated that they are. When we break it down, even from a more granular modular perspective, those complexities only increase. Your connected data is transacting from beginning to end in processes like procure to pay and hire to retire. What we want to do is to ensure that the foundation of automation that you already have in your current system is in place, but also you can take this as a time to really take stock of what integrations you won't need to build out within Oracle because you will be now moving on to a unified platform. And like Zubin mentioned before, this is an amazing place for you to create a phased project plan. Often when moving away from a lift and shift mentality to a transformational journey for these multi-pillar projects, our customers find that the fastest time to value is by way of a phased approach. Within each of these phases, you can use a system architecture as a guideline for your organization's transformation. As the project progresses, this is the most satisfying part, you can see that map begin to shrink as you move away from those siloed point solutions toward the unified cloud suite. Thereby, you're going to be able to reduce complexities and eliminate the need for some of that integration build and maintenance, and also be able to get a platform that will allow you to quickly and easily build transactional or financial reporting. With that, I think you can take away the importance of having a system architecture for you guys and how that can help build a map for your path forward.
Awesome. Thanks, Chloe. Really great insight. And I think, one of the things to know when you do talk about your current infrastructure and systems earlier on, all of the 5 things that Chloe mentioned, what it does is it helps force the conversation to not only be technical resources talking that have built these integrations, but it also adds in the functional people that actually use the applications, and you really have a good conversation and strategy going forward on how to rebuild and what you need to rebuild going forward.